Yo, what's up, gang? We're back. Just gonna do a little bit of GAMSAT study. It's been a hot minute, so about to be really busy shortly. So the next few months. So we're just gonna hop in before we get really busy and try and get a few sessions in. So the plan is today, I'm just gonna do a few maths questions, jump up on that, and then we haven't actually touched a proper GAMSAT question in a hot minute. So we're gonna do one of those or a few of those hopefully. Try to study a bit more consistently, even if it's for a shorter period of time. That's the plan. Hop in, follow along if you want. Watch, join the Discord. There's a few people in the Discord now, so surely you can find a study partner there if times and stuff will line up. Um, if not, I'll be a bit more consistent with the study, so hop in with me and we can study together if you're interested in doing similar things and have a similar process. If not, join the Twitch, which will be in the YouTube link video. Currently on Twitch now, so join that if you feel so inclined. Otherwise, sit back and watch me do all the hard work. So I'll only spend 10-15 minutes on this math and then we'll go to a proper GAMSAT question. Is the play? So let's go. The goal here is to just get 100% in all these questions before I move on, basically. the hell is 25 times 25? 5,000. Five squared. Squared. How do I? 5 times 10, 250. It is. It is. It's 5. It's 500. 25 times 10. 5. 500. 5 times 10 is 2. 5 times 500. 5 times 5. 5. 6. Pretty sure I got some of these wrong. So we'll just fix those and then we'll go into some actual GAMSAT questions. We'll just do 5-10 minutes today. Do some medicine, bro. Yeah, no, I am. I'm really bad at math, and there is a bit of math in the GAMSAT, so I'm just focusing on like 5-10 minutes. Next, I'll jump onto some GAMSAT. I have a question lined up. I'll what am I jumping onto? I'll either do this one. It's just got posted in the Discord. So I'll just have a crack at this one, or I'll do like the ASAR practice test. But yeah, I'll get to it eventually, my friend. Uh, Pathmedicine.com. I'll check that out. What is that? Let me have a look. Don't give me a virus here. I'm clicking on it. That's the next step. Path medicine. Is this for like? Is this for Yeah, okay. So what I'm looking for more resources that are GAMSAT because I'm not actually in medicine at the moment. I'm doing the GAMSAT, and that's sort of like a reasoning based exam. You would have had to do it if you're in med school, so you probably know. But I'm kind of looking at materials that are more focused on that than actually the content of medicine itself, if that makes sense. Right, MCAT. I think MCAT is kind of similar. I've seen a little bit of material from that. Um, if you give me like 5 minutes just to mark these things, and I'll show you what questions I'll be looking at like specifically. Oh, I just sprayed 5. That's crazy. That's so bad. I'll fix that in a sec. What did I six two? Did I kook here? Takes the square root. Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely check it out. I appreciate you sending the resource. I'll have a look at it in a sec. Ah, square root. Yeah, okay, that's where I cooked it. I forget how to do this. Hours. Use. Fair enough. Oh yeah, do the old cheeky subscription and then change. Yeah, that makes sense. Are you based in UK, are you? Are you MCAT? What's MCAT? Isn't MCAT like American? New Orleans now. Yeah, right. And you're doing medicine, I can imagine. Brisbane for 2 years before. Oh, yeah, cool. I'm in Brisbane at the moment. Very cool. Did you study here or did you just come over to visit? Okay, root. We'll do that for next time. Question. One more as well. You can manual learn about Osna? Oscar? Oshna? Okay. I'm not sure what that is, but okay. Um, oh, by the like, yeah, these aren't I'm not in med, by the way. So my background is psychology. So I've done a psych degree, and doing my honors year in psych. And when I finish my honors in psych, I'm either gonna go try and do medicine or continue on in psych. I'm not sure really what the plan is yet, but to do that, I need to do the GAMSAT exam. So yeah, okay, cool, that's awesome. You did psych as well. Yeah, nice. So that's kind of what I'm at. I'm not really pre-med. That's why I'm sort of doing math and stuff like that, because I didn't do very well academically. So this is like an example of what a GAMSAT. I'm not sure. I just got this from my Discord. Someone in there, so not sure if this how relevant this question is going to be, but this is kind of what the question would look like. And so my process is typically, by the way, I've done the GAMSAT twice. GAMSAT is a pre-med test though. Yeah, sure, I guess so. It's like it's a requirement, it's an entry requirement exam, I guess. That's how I would class it. Um, as a pre. Oh, do you mean? No, I don't think so. They don't take the GAMSAT as like if you're doing pre-med, like if you're doing like an undergrad in bio like biomed or something. It's not like a test that they take. It's to get into um like a medical program at the end of your pre-med course, if that makes sense. But you can take like a biomed or pre-med course on its own without going further if you wish to do so. Anyway, so my typical process for answering these questions is like redefining the question. Um, so I'm going to try and do that first. It's asking me which pair of values given below corresponds to the possible values of the two wavelengths. Given me some. How are we going to redefine this? So what? Okay, what's a wavelength of value? That's how I'm going to redefine the question at the moment. Would be step one. What the hell is a wavelength for values of two wavelengths? What would a wavelength be measured in? GAMSAT is the test you take as a pre-med content and your score level. GAMSAT is before. Yeah, yeah. No, I get. Yeah, I know what you mean. I agree with that as well. I think that's accurate. I think we're saying the same thing, just in different. Okay, so let's do this question. If you have any input on this question, by the way, because I'm working my way through it. So I want to find out what possible values of two wavelengths. 48, so they've got meters here. Okay, so it's 24 meter. Sure what consecutive resonance is real. Yeah, so that I like what you said there. Like, you can't help me with this because you haven't done physics. So this is the thing with the GAMSAT, is that you shouldn't have to know any background knowledge necessarily to answer the questions because they're reasoning based. So that's why I was saying hook a brother up with some bio. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Well, I'll jump onto a bio question next. I think I've got one lined up. That's chem. Um, uh, that's a bit of chem, kind of bio. Oh no, that's a bit physics. See, that's what I mean. There's like not that many bio questions really in the GAMSAT. So I think the way they weight them, so it tests in section 3, it tests chemistry, physics, and biology. And I think the ratios are, yeah, so there's physiology and stuff, but the ratios I think are like 40% bio, 40% chemistry, and 20% physics. But the questions, right, are reasoning based. So the content is physics or bio or chem or whatever, but what they're actually testing is your reasoning capabilities. So what they'll give you is in the STEM, they'll give you all the information necessary to answer the question. It's just the kind of way that you process the information and sort it, and can use different reasoning faculties like deductive reasoning and abstract reasoning and analytical reasoning, all those kind of things to answer the question. So that's why I don't really care what the actual content is. It can be physics, which I know nothing about, or it can be, you know, chemistry, which I know nothing about. And yeah, there is like a limit. So, for example, they say you need to know like year 12 physics and first year like university level biology and chemistry. And so I don't know, for example, like chemistry, probably don't have a first year university level understanding of chemistry. So I get stuck on those questions. But what I do try and do is answer the question, the reasoning component of the question first, and then when I get stuck on a piece of knowledge or skill that I haven't acquired yet, I go search that out instead of doing it the other way around, where I'm like spending a lot of my time looking at content and skills that might not actually help me in the moment, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't. Uh, don't even remember what I learned in first year chemistry. Yeah, yeah, I get you, man. Um, But if you're interested in this kind of thing, I would encourage you to try and like reason your way through this question without much background knowledge, because it is a challenge, but it can be quite fun. You have to understand in hydrophilic and hydrophobic interactions, acid base with bicarb. Yeah, I can imagine that would be quite important. Sure. Values given below corresponds to possible. Okay, so we're given meters. What else are we? Length of the cylinder. Numbers. What are these numbers? 135. Threat 135. Positive. Right, right, right. and it can be quite boring and cyclical, but I don't mind spending a lot of time on one question because yeah. So as I was saying, I don't really mind spending a lot of time on one question because even though the exam is timed, I'm not really doing exam condition study at the moment because I'm more working, like I said, on the reasoning parts. And I would rather skip a question that I have no idea how to figure out in the actual exam, and spend my time on a question that I could answer. Because I think the way that the exam is marked and the way marks are allocated is they reward you for answering a complete stem and a set of questions rather than, getting lucky and guessing one here and getting one wrong. They don't mark you down or any results. But yeah, so I'll sit for this question for a while until I'm like fully confident that I don't know how to answer the question or I figured it out. So for wavelengths maybe. Yeah, let's look at that. So what is like for L and XL? Yeah, so length of the cylinder. So that's 24. So maybe we write it out. Maybe we write this out. N wavelength. So this is where maybe it's like an abstract reasoning question, and you kind of have to um, think about how maybe wavelengths move or what their physical components are. Uh, Metal cylindrical pipeline closed at one end. So let's imagine this. So, and it's closed at this end. No, it's open at that end, closed at this end. Consecutive resonance occurs. I don't know what that is. Consecutive resonance. So imagine maybe consecutively bouncing occurs at two wavelengths. Wavelength. So like that maybe. Two wavelengths. There are two of them. Yeah, dysphagia, dysphagia, dysphagia. Is this like a question for your in like your med degree or for like an exam, yeah, as like the MCAT, do you mean? Because yeah, yeah, okay. So that's like a question about like following, yeah, med degree. Yeah. So I get where you're coming from. Um and a lot of people complain that these kind of exams are what's the word, um like blocking, like a barrier to a lot of people getting into med school because that's not actually what they're looking for. But I don't know. I think it's reasonable. But yeah, I know those are the type of questions because they're more like guidelines and protocols and stuff that you have to follow, and also like there's a little bit of reasoning in that question as well. Like um, I would imagine, but I know what you mean. And I also would assume that you study, so like in a, you have to diagnose it, epiglottitis. I don't know what, epiglottis. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Um, I would imagine that you would have like a subject that is looking at specific um, illnesses or diagnoses or formulations and stuff that um, you learn and then they test you on. Whereas because it's not a content-based exam like this exam, um, the questions aren't like that based on the fact the kid is, yeah, okay. And Yeah, and I'd imagine you'd have to like rule out. So I'm not going to do antibiotics first. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like, yeah, you have to like rule out other stuff as well based on the stem. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, back to my question. Um, so I can pull up my little Word doc as well because I forget the. So it's there's like a specific process to answer questions that's kind of ideal. And it's the first step is to um, define the question kind of in a different way where it gives you a step, like your first step. I think I've opened the wrong document here. Yeah, I have. Bear with. Mind you, this is just kind of avoiding answering the question. That's okay. Avoidance never hurt anyone. Oh, screw it. I'm gonna freestyle it. 24 meters pipeline close on a consecutive two wavelengths. Okay, I'm not sure what that really means, but we'll leave that for now because that's not my step. We want to know the first step is possible values of the. So we want to know what is the value of a wavelength. Oh, okay. Wait, I could be onto something here. So consecutive resonance. I think this is really important to know actually. Consecutive resonance occurs. Consecutive resonance. What could that mean? Consecutive resonance. Four LN is wavelength. Are you saying that's like the measurement to define it by math given the question? L equals number, so n wavelength over 4. Okay, isolate wavelength. Okay, this is kind of why I was doing math as well before. Like you can see how it kind of comes up, and I'm not that good at doing this like math questions. So feel like I was onto something with the consecutive resonance, but you feel like you now I don't know where you go from there. Yeah, brother, I know. I feel you, dog. Consecutive resonance occurs. I want to know what consecutive. I'm gonna Google it because if I don't have that piece of knowledge and it's a required piece of knowledge, consecutive resonance. Are adjacent standing wavelengths. Okay, so it was this. So adjacent standing wavelengths that naturally occur within a bounded, like stream the boundaries of the system. Intervals. Physics and mathematical rules of these can be set. Pipe close to one end, resonance only occurs. Five. Okay. Bottom ends. Does that help at all? Does that help? Sometimes, you look up something that you think was important and it just doesn't help at all because it's like I haven't got the reasoning part. Can be quite frustrating, these type of questions. To wavelength. Okay, so if we've got a 24 meter, so electrical pipeline, 24 meters. Does that mean 24 meters long? Let's assume it does. No, he's getting across two wavelengths. If it's 24 meters long, wavelengths be if they're like 24 meters? But then, okay, so consecutive resonance occurs, so that's why you have to know that, I guess. Tough question. Again, I can't just like move on just because I don't know it because yeah, I have no idea what this question is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't just move on because I'm deliberately trying to train that reasoning muscle and like the longer I sit with the question, the kind of different angles I can take and stuff. So I can't just if I don't know it, move on. I have to sit with it for a good while until I'm really confident. I'm like I've tried every possibility and I just can't come up with something else. It's so irrelevant to my scope of practice. Yeah, it's not relevant, not irrelevant to mine though. Like my practice is trying to pass this get a good score in this GAMSAT exam so I can be in your situation where I don't have to do these questions ever again. So it's quite relevant to me, unfortunately, at this stage. There is can't you take MCAT as well? Pretty sure you both. Um, question. Depends on your residency status. So you must take the GAMSAT. Yeah, domestic. So you're international. That's probably why they accepted your UCAT. Oh, sorry, your MCAT. I mean, yeah, that is. It is my friend. It is. Um, I'm not sure if I would even get into UQ as well, but just because my GPA, I think my weighted GPA is like what is it, like 6.6 or something like that, and then my most recent GAMSAT score was like 55. And you want to like you want like 65-ish or something like that. So, and UQ is a really good school. So I don't know if I'd be going there anyway, just based on like scores and stuff. What am I googling? Google UK. No, what is that? Your Ocean MD program university. So it's for, yeah, it's for you guys for the US, right? I see. I got you. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that I wouldn't have thought UQ had like a relationship like that with US. So he is in Brisbane, right? How'd you like Brisbane? Brisbane is cool. Hmm. Yeah, right. Yeah. I thought you said you were coming back or something for. I thought you said you were coming back. For something. Maybe not. Ah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. To go back. GP rotation. Will you do your rotation rurally or in Brisbane? Okay. Yeah, right. Pretty good. Sounds like a pretty cool experience. You get to practice in two different countries. Yeah, it is. It is. My brother, my brother was actually in there last year, unfortunately. Um, like ill, but he's better now. But yeah, he was in there for a few weeks. He was treated very well though. Burns, that would have been crazy. Yeah, I've heard a lot about like the ortho, the ortho like department in hospitals, how they're sort of I don't know what you'd describe them as, but kind of maybe renegades or something like that. I don't know. Orthopedic. Every ortho I've ever met is pretty cool though. Okay, I'm locked in on this question. 48 meters. I'm gonna try and work around these answers. So 48 meters is what? Just double 24. So why would it be double 24? It's going up and back. Consecutive resonance occurs at two wavelengths. So could that be like the way they're joined and like going up and back? Maybe. Let's stick with that. And 12 meters. So 12 is half of 24. 12 meters and 24 meters. Let's just lock in C here and move on. Because let's just say that there's, let's say these are joined. That's 40. No, that can't be right. Yeah, and 12. Yeah, let's do A actually. 48, and then we have one here by itself. No, that can't be right either. They seem important as well. One, three, five, seven. Oh, number of wavelengths. Is that what that is? So if, and I have two wavelengths. I have two. Those of the two wavelengths. The problem with this as well is they're not going to give an explanation as to the reasoning question. So I'm going to have to like put it in Claude or like ChatGPT or something to help me. And they're not so unintuitive, so it's not going to be great. Oh my goodness. Put it in ChatGPT if I want to hire. Put yeah. I usually do that. But yeah, I usually do that. I've been on this question for like 15 minutes, so I think it is time to actually do that. Yeah, it's not bad. I've switched to Claude though recently, and I'm not sure which one I like better. I think I like ChatGPT better, but I don't have like the paid versions anymore. I got rid of the paid versions. Sinking money into AI is crazy, but kind of is worth. Um, Accurate in like what sense? In terms of the information it gets for you is more relevant, or actually more accurate, like in terms of like its validity and reliability. The mythos roll out and was right. I found it with Claude as well. I feel like it just bugs out sometimes. Like I'll ask it to do something and it just won't. The function won't work. It's kind of annoying. I didn't really get. I don't think I got that as much with ChatGPT. But yeah, well, let's chuck this in. Let's chuck this in ChatGPT and see what the boss says. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna use the paid version though, because I just I'm just gonna try and answer the question though, like to the best of my ability before I get the ChatGPT response. Um, I think let's just lock in like I don't know. I feel like I'm just completely missing required information, and that 1357 I really need to know what that means, and then also I need executive residence means. So it's just gonna be a blind guess, and we're gonna go 48 and 12. Do you have a guess? Do you want to back me on that guess? Punch it. Yeah. Okay, so it was D. Oh, it gives an explanation. Very nice. 3290.2. So from L equals N times wavelength over wavelength equals 4. Is this kind of what you were saying when you were saying like isolate wavelength? Maybe. Wavelength 4 times 2. Okay, fair enough, I guess. Yeah, so it gives the explanation, but I don't know why. Why do you have to do it like that? This is out of my scope, brother. I feel like that every day. I think that is the whole point, though. That is the whole point, is to make you feel like you're just out of your depth, basically, and to work from there. If you hit Saturday's section, I might be more help. Saturday's section. I don't know what that. Oh, wait, you mean like Saturday? But oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Alright, well that was enough from this website. Maybe we'll hit Saturday. Actually, I wonder if can you do? No, you can't skip ahead, unfortunately. But I'll get a bio question for you. See what ChatGPT said though. That's harmonics. Okay. I mean, it got the right answer. I think is doing the. Yeah, it is. How you answer it? Answer it, I guess. Um, I'll get a bio question for you. Would you consider this question in biology? It's kind of dietary body mass. It's kind of like looks mathematical though. Alright, we'll do this one. Do I mean, it looks like math. I actually just think it's more like analytical. So you're just looking at the data. Like, look at the question. I never read the stem first as well, by the way, because I feel like I waste a lot of time. Um, so I'll just look for the information they specifically want. So which of the following statements about the observations is least supported? Um, so let's check if increase in fat mass is related to increase in total energy intake. So where's fat mass? So fat mass, fat mass is related to in total energy intake. I just logically you imagine it would be right, but uh, total energy intake, total energy intake. Here you go. So do they both go up or down? A is false. Okay, I haven't got there yet, so let me go through it. 366. So we're kind of looking at ratios, I guess. 386. So it goes down here. This goes down. 344. Down. Diet 2 has less fat mass. Diet 2 has more fat mass, less energy intake. Diet 2 has, I don't, is that, wait, Diet 2, so Diet 2 has more energy, has less fat mass, yeah, so less fat mass than what Diet 1, but more energy intake. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so, okay, it's least supported. Okay, so yeah, that's out. Increase in lean mass is related to increase total. Okay, so lean mass is also false same. Okay, you're just faster at. I I trust you with that. We'll move on to C. Change, interesting, and up here. Um, 6. Okay. Yep. Okay. What's D? Change in non-resting energy not proportional to increase in total. Actually, well, it's asking least supported, so it could be A, no? Could also be B. Yeah, could also it's A, B. Um, increase in protein intake. So C's out because that seems to be true. Non-resting energy expenditure. Okay, so that's not proportional to increase in total energy intake. Not proportional. Okay, so we have to do some like ratio shit here. Just do it roughly. Doesn't look proportional. Really doesn't look proportional. So it could be D, B, or A. Which one's the least supported? Yeah, so I think that's why they use the word least. Um, yeah, yeah, that's exactly how they kind of want you to think. And they try and create like a doubt even with the right answer. So you're gonna be like doubting even if it's the right answer. Did, so yeah, right. It's 11 p.m. That's wild. I'd be fried. You're given two pieces of paper and a pencil though, or you're allowed to have it. So there's that. Go to an actual bio question. Okay, let's just finish this. Hang on. Um, increase in lean mass is times the least supported. Ugh, I don't know. Sometimes I just fucking stare at this shit. All right, we'll do a bio question for you. There you go. I mean, it's fungi biology. This suffice. Bit of genetics for you. Oh shit, I have to go to work. That's crazy. Um, thanks for chilling with me though, dude. But I have to run to work, so this was fun. Um, join again if you want to look at some fun physics questions. Join. I've got a Discord link as well if you want to join that, and you can hang out in there. But, um, but yeah, I'll catch you later. It's like a hard genetics. Yeah, they're all hard. They're all hard, my friend. Alright, see everyone. Bye bye.